So we have a huge shakeup in the top 10 retail stocks that were bought by us, the little guys, and we need to talk about these stocks to see if there's an opportunity there or not. So let's discuss the good and the bad from a long-term buy and hold investor's perspective, guys. That's what we're here for. That's what we do. You're looking for, trading or option plays or anything else. This right here isn't the right list for you. There's plenty of channels that do a great job of that. It's not what we do here. We are long-term buy and hold investors. So make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth out the hype. That's exactly what we're here for. That's exactly what we're going to discuss today. But as always, and there's actually a lot of different shakeups with this list this time. It's some stocks are moving in one direction, some stocks are moving up, and it's all kind of odd. Okay, so we'll get into that here shortly. But remember, these are not my stock picks. Okay, this is not Luke's list of top 10 buys. Obviously, I'll have my list of my top buys right now coming out here. Shortly, maybe a week or so. It'll be coming out here for the next month. These are the top 10 retail stocks that retail investors picked up. All of us as a whole that we picked up over the last month. Okay, this is not my list. Obviously, some of my stocks are on this list, and there's some great stocks on this list, more importantly, but this is not my list, guys. This is what we bought out there as retail investors overall as a whole. Okay, so keep that in mind as we're going through this list. It's not, I can't explain some of them either, by the way, as to why we do what we do there. All I can do is simply look at the data, look at what's presented there, and they give you the takes on the stocks itself. All right, so on to the first stock, and that would be Netflix. This one finally got on this list after a while, and it's staying on this list. Obviously, it's number 10. It's not nearly as cheap as it was just a little while ago. But of course, I think Netflix is one of those great stocks that I personally missed. I didn't catch it early on. I caught a lot of the other Magnificent Seven, but I did not catch on to Netflix. It was just something that streaming I just didn't see as being something we would all do, and now it is something that we absolutely all do. So obviously, I got that one wrong in terms of valuation and everything else. It's obviously much cheaper than it was before. Like I said, we're not getting steel deal pricing anymore. But the competitors seem to be falling to the wayside right and left. And obviously they were looking to buy out competitors. So obviously great pick here by us. It's a great company. There's no doubt in my mind 5 years from now it will be a much larger company than it is today. So good to see it on this list. So let's talk about stock number 9, and that is Palantir. Hey, it's a channel favorite here, and it's finally dipping, right? We finally, exactly what we talked about happening last year, right around this time when everybody was making to the moon predictions for Palantir and 500's right around the corner and all that sort of stuff. We said, hey, it's going to trade flatter down. And here we are, flatter down, almost a year later or more than a year later there. And that's what happens whenever you pull too much into the now. Now, in regards to earnings, it's been like 4 or 5 straight all-time great earnings. And you guys know I don't use that term lightly. I don't like to say, incredible, game-changing earnings, every time there's an earnings call, even if it's just mediocre. It's not what I do there. This has definitely been an incredible run for Palantir. Every time you just think, man, if they could just match that earnings call, that would be an incredible feat. They just kind of go, yeah, here, hold my beer. I'm going to just crush that previous earnings that was already crushing the previous earnings. It's just unbelievable performance there, but this is what happens. This is stock investing. The narrative out there is always, you got to buy the future, or Wall Street will always pay ahead. And, 300 PE is just normal. Don't worry about the multiples. It's just buy the stock. It's a great company. It's game-changing. It's the future. It's all those things. I would agree. But fundamentals always matter, and the stock price always falls to those fundamentals, or the fundamentals catch up to the stock price while the stock price stagnates. And we've kind of seen both of those happening right now with Palantir. Essentially, fundamentals getting, really, really good every single quarter, but it was that far stretched in terms of valuation to where it's basically stagnated, and earnings are coming up here and starting to meet that point. So obviously we are getting closer to that inflection point. In my opinion, we're not quite there yet. Check my Palantir video from a week or two ago in regards to kind of what I would do if I was a newer investor starting in Palantir. I didn't have a full Palantir position. Obviously I own Palantir plus some, but clearly, as you can see, Palantir is right here, and retail is still buying the stock. Thankfully, it's not at the $200 price we were buying at previously, right? Obviously it's much, much lower than that. So still not steel deal pricing, but hey, at least we're putting great companies on this list. I can't say that for some of the other stocks, but so far so good in terms of great companies. So stock number 8 is Meta. Hey, I like seeing this one on here because we're getting a discount on Meta right now, really for the same reason why we should be getting a discount on all of the Magnificent Seven right now, CapEx spend. Obviously, I know there's some legal things, but there's always legal things with Meta. That's nothing new there. But this is another great company, great stock, great to see it on this list and us buying it here as retail investors. I wish we would have seen it a little bit further up the list as opposed to some of the other names, even the next name that's getting ready to come, because those stocks are at all-time highs, as opposed to Meta that's fallen off, 25% or so from those all-time highs. That right there is the kind of pricing you want to get in regards to the stock. And right now we're starting to get good pricing on Meta. Now it's not, 2022 steel deal pricing, or even just a year or so ago when you get it in the 450s. Maybe that's 2 years ago now. You get it down in the 450s or so, but we're getting very reasonable pricing from Meta. And of course, as they continue to move forward, we'll see the moves that they make in AI. Again, everybody trying to guess who's ahead in the AI race. It's a fool's errand. Totally useless argument right now. We're not going to know who the winners are for years. So there's Meta. It's at number 8 on the list, but coming in at number 7 is Google. Hey, it's red hot right now. People are, I love the company as a whole. I actually think it has more room to run here into the future, but I like the pricing this time last year a heck of a lot better when nobody wanted Google. Yeah, I'm not even sure it was on this list. I'd have to go back and look and see, but I know that every comment that I was getting down in the comment section on any video where I said I was buying Google, people are like, why are you buying that? It's dead money. It's going nowhere. It's behind in the AI race. You're buying it's a value trap. It's all this other stuff like that. And it's just like, I guess you guys aren't looking at the earnings, because I'm seeing something completely different. You're listening to the narrative, not necessarily what's going on with earnings. And then, magically in the span of like 2 weeks, it went from the laggard and dying to the AI leader and all the rage. So is what it is, guys. At least it's a great, solid company. I do believe we have more room to run here with Google as well. Obviously, the big run's already happened. Those of you guys that were buying with us last year around this time, and really the previous 2 years prior to that, you got to build out a massive position, and now you get to enjoy that run. Very much like a lot of folks are enjoying right now with AMD and several other stocks that were identified back then too. So Google, good to see it on this list, but let's jump to number 6, and that one is Microsoft. Now, this one's kind of been doing the opposite of Google, right? It's been getting beaten down as part of this SaaS apocalypse crap, or whatever the heck the case is. It's definitely getting to that point where it's starting to get really, really interesting with Microsoft. I understand, depending upon your stance and depending upon where you quote unquote get your news from, OpenAI as the worst ever, the best ever, or whatever the case is. I'm not going to go down any of those rabbit holes here. I'm looking at Microsoft as a business itself. And it is obviously a wonderful company. You guys are obviously getting good pricing on Microsoft, not the cheapest ever, but pretty darn good pricing on Microsoft. So good to see us buying that share en masse and buying that stock here en masse as retail investors. Next up is Apple. Now this one's it's the second most interesting stock on here in regards to where it's moving on the list. This one fell again. There was a time when it was 1, 2 forever, it seemed like, especially whenever everything was down. That kind of seemed like Apple was the one to buy there. But it continues to fall down despite the fact we have significant changes there. Obviously, C-suite turnover in regards to, Tim Cook leaving. And it's going to be an interesting time for Apple over the next year or so. I just find it interesting that it kind of tends to fall again. I understand there hasn't really been a lot of weakness or, big run in Apple. So maybe it's just kind of not sexy enough for retail investors right now. I'm not really sure. Or maybe it's just simply because it's there's an unknown future there with CEO change. And so therefore people are kind of taking a wait and see approach. I don't know. Comment down below if you're one of those that was considering Apple and kind of decided on another play in the meantime. Let me know the reason why. But interesting to see Apple fall. Obviously, you guys know it's my all-time favorite company. I think it's a great stock. I believe the future is great, regardless of what they choose to do, just simply how they run the business and how much money they print to that bottom line. More importantly, they're just, I don't know. It's hard to find another business model better than what Apple has there to just sustain performance during good times, bad times. Doesn't really seem to matter. They know how to print money regardless. So good to see us still buying it down there. But, hey, let me know your opinions down there in the comments section. But let's move on to the one that I don't get. And that's number 4, and that is Ford. This one seems to be on the list every time. It seems to be high up on the list every time, and I can never figure out why. Just couldn't tell you. It's just... It is what it is, guys. Legacy auto. This is definitely a business. Never been on it. It's the one huge anomaly that always comes up with retail that nobody can explain either. Nobody seems to know the reason why, but for some reason we are out there buying this one en masse. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I want nothing to do with these tile stocks. Like I said, maybe there's a trade there. Maybe there's a play there of some sort. But if you're looking for a dividend, there are far better dividend stocks. If you're looking for a growth stock, obviously there's better growth stocks. There's better value plays right now. I can pretty much point to any reason that I can think of to potentially buy this stock, and there's a better opportunity out there for it. So this one baffles me. Again, if you got it, comment down below, but I'm confused by it. But that's okay. Let's move into the top 3 here and see what we got. And number 3 is Amazon. You guys know we've been beating the drum here on Amazon for the past few years because it was stupid cheap like Google was last year. Obviously, it hasn't had the same style run, but it has run up. Basically, I think my last buy on Amazon was like $199 or so. And here we are marching much closer to 300 than we were that mark. So definitely moving in the right direction. Great business, great company all the way around. This is definitely a long-term play. It's not going to be it's not going to 10x tomorrow, anything else on that for you, but it's just going to be a growth beast that continues to grow into the future there. So again, great job by you guys out there picking up great stocks, staying consistent. Hopefully it's just, you guys are just throwing a lot of this stuff here on a DCA and moving forward. But let's get on to number 2, and that stock is Tesla. Now, I think I've covered Tesla enough on here. You guys know exactly what I think about it. This is basically people trying to play games with Tesla at this stage. The only logical reason I can make it stick here at number 2. It's not cheap on evaluation. It's extremely expensive. Obviously, earnings have been just trash for a couple of years now. Hopefully, we've kind of bottomed in terms of earnings for Tesla, in terms of maybe just creating a floor to where, hey, you can't go up, can't go anywhere but up from here. Hopefully so. But things like robotaxi aren't going to print significant numbers to the bottom line for a couple of years at least. Obviously, Optimus is way further off than that. I know the Tesla bulls will always tell me it's coming tomorrow or next year, and this, that, and the other. Okay, we'll see. I like the way it's worked out for me the past 5 years when folks have posted that. They're still posting the same exact thing about things that were promised 5 years ago. But hey, it is what it is in regards to Tesla. I understand there's some games around SpaceX and what's that all going to mean and everything else. Obviously, at some point in time, we've been discussing it there in my group a lot in regards to what to look for, what do the actual financials look like, how to actually value a business like that instead of listening to all the hype and all the hope and all the everything else that's out there right now. And more importantly, what the setup is with that particular stock. So maybe that's what people are trying to do. Maybe they're buying some of those hype narratives. In regards to that, I really don't know. But definitely in terms of, risk reward here in the top 3, it's definitely the riskiest of the group. And in terms of earnings performance and fundamentals, definitely eroding versus improving all the way around for this top 3. Hey, it's Tesla. This is what it does. It's a wild ride. It's always been a retail favorite. It can go either direction. And I still think it could go to, 800, or it could crater all the way down to 100. And I think it would still be on this list somewhere because it's just a retail favorite. So, but let's move on to number 1. And that stock is Nvidia. And I still think there's a lot more legs to run on this particular run. There's a lot of demand there. Who knows what Jensen's going to pull out of the hat next? Nobody freaking seems to know. I just know this is a great business. They're right there. Obviously, they're one of the big winners of the AI arms race so far. They're going to continue to be that at least for the next few years. In regards to that, I understand AMD is getting all the shine right now. Well, that's because Nvidia got the shine the previous 4 years or 3 years or so in regards to run up. So, at some point in time, the other big player there, AMD, was going to get itself a nice move as well. Great job by you guys identifying great stock there and just continuing to buy that stock, regardless of what all the noise is out there. And of course, if you want to see my complete watch list with price targets and all the stocks I'm looking to buy, and really all of our super investors in our group and our other, 6, 7, and 8 figure members who also post their buys in the group, I may have left something special for those of you guys that hung around this long. It's the pinned comment down there. If you want to see all my buy and sell alerts in real time, see their buy and sell alerts in real time, get our stock calculator. We got something special coming for folks here in the coming months. We got free coaching. We got free courses. We got the best 6, 7, and 8 figure Discord out there to make you a better investor. That's what we're focused on. Learning how to do those fundamentals, learning how to do due diligence, learning how to do evaluations so you can become a better investor. Check it out. It's the pinned comment. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.